there are some phenomenal physiques in all of comics, but in this video specifically, I want to go over my top 5 physiques in the DC comics. Now, DC really knows how to draw physiques. I don't know if it's because they're American based and there's a lot of bodybuilders over here, and as the DC comics were starting to develop over the years, so was bodybuilding. So I think there's a lot of crossover between those two. I'm not sure, but I do know that there are so many phenomenal physiques, and I want to go over the ones that I think could be the top 5 in all of the comics. Now in this video, I'm not going to be going over the characters with the super massive physiques, think like someone like Broly, but just like in my last video with the Marvel characters, in this one we're going to look more at the classic style of physique, the more superhero-esque style of physique, not the ones that are overly muscular, but the ones that still have the aesthetics. If you're new here, my name is Devin. I am a fitness coach and a former natural bodybuilder. So without further ado, let's jump into number 5. And at number 5, we have the one and only Hawkman. So this guy isn't quite as popular, I think, as some of the other DC characters, but from a physique perspective, he's right up there. Now, keep in mind too, with this whole list that I'm doing, it really depends on the artist. It depends on the year that they were drawn. It depends on the shot too. There's a lot of variation and fluctuation. So what could be number 5 might end up being like number 3, depending on the shot, or the number 1 might be like number 4, or vice versa, something like that. They could really change around. These top 5 could really go in any different direction. It's just like, these are the top 5 for most of the shots that I'm seeing, and this is how I would kind of place them, but kind of hold on to that loosely. But either way, looking at Hawkman, this guy is super ripped. I mean, you can actually see the veins, the vascularity running through his muscles. Like that's how you know you're ripped. Like you have 0 body fat percentage. When you can see those veins, you can see like the feathering and the striations in the muscles right there. You can see abs on top of the abs. This guy is in great shape, and not only that, he's got that aesthetic quality to his physique that we're looking for. And what I mean by that is if we kind of zoom in on this picture here, we got kind of like that V-taper / X type of physique. We see he has really broad shoulders. They're really wide. He's got a really big chest, really wide lats, and then that small waist. And then to get that X type of physique, he actually has his quads pop out. So this guy has a really phenomenal style of physique. I think this is a top-notch classic bodybuilding-esque physique. So with that being said, let's jump into number 4, and that is Shazam. Now, this guy, depending on what shot you're looking at of him, he looks like he either just has like a phenomenal lean physique, or he could be super massive. Like I've seen some where he just looks like a professional open bodybuilder. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. It depends on the shot that we're looking at. Like this one, he's got that classic bodybuilding style of physique. And then with some of these other shots, he just looks like an open bodybuilder. So either way, whichever shot we're looking at, he has a great physique. He has that small, narrow waist, just like Hawkman did. He's got abs for days. He's got a chest, that barrel chest. He's got great arms, great shoulders. This guy could definitely compete in bodybuilding at a professional level. He looks really great. So with that being said, let's move into our number 3. This might be a little controversial, but my number 3 pick is going to be Superman. Now, like I said, depends on the shot. He could be number 1 in some of these shots, but this guy just looks great. I mean, really, really great. You can see the abs popping through his suit. You can see all the muscles popping through his suit. The fact that you can see like the muscles popping through, the separation of the muscles as well. Like even in the quads right there, like you can see all the different quad muscles. You can see the different calf muscles too. He's very well proportioned. But the fact that you can see all of those muscles popping through means that he's just like got, first of all, a really nice tight suit, which I think you have to be a superhero, right? But also those muscles that can really just pop through them. So he's also got the Superman pose. And if you're not familiar with bodybuilding at all, there's this guy who just won the Mr. Olympia. His name is Ryan Terry. He won it in the men's physique division. So not the open guys, not the super big guys, but kind of like best built, jacked, or like really jacked beach body. It's kind of hard to get your head around that, but he's basically a bodybuilder and they wear board shorts. That's all there is. But he has like the best Superman pose out of pretty much anyone I've ever seen in my life. So this pose looks just like Superman in my opinion. Like he could be like the real life Superman. And obviously he's Mr. Olympia, so Superman would obviously do very, very well on the Olympia stage as well. And like I say, like it really depends on the shot. In some of these shots, he looks a little smaller, a little less ripped, especially if it's the older shots. In some of the newer shots, he just looks absolutely like massive, like huge. So that is Superman right there. Now let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is one that kind of surprised me. I wasn't really familiar with this guy before really delving into this because I haven't seen him in movies or anything like that, and I'm not a super big comic book nerd. I'm more of a bodybuilding nerd. So given that, number 2 is Icon. Icon just has like the perfect bodybuilding physique. I mean, like that small waist and just explodes up top and down low as well. Like look at those quads, look at that chest. He could actually be a really good open bodybuilder here. Actually, I'll tell you what, his physique actually reminds me of the guy that won the 212 Olympia this year, and that is Keon Pearson. This guy has a very similar build to his physique. He's got probably the craziest V-taper in all of bodybuilding right now, with like one of the smallest waist I think I've ever seen, and then like his quads just pop right there, and then his biceps are crazy. He's just like, I feel like he's not lacking at all. Like he's just like got a phenomenal bodybuilding physique. So when I look at Keon Pearson's physique, I see a very similar style of physique with Icon. Now, Keon is in the 212 division, meaning that he actually weighs, somehow, if you can get your mind around it, he weighs under 212 pounds, which is crazy. I know it's because most of the guys in the 212 division are on the shorter end. So I'm not sure how tall he is, but most of them are under 5'5", I believe. And I think there actually might even be a cutoff that you have to be like under 5'5" or something like that. But anyway, Icon has that crazy X style physique. And I love how like in some shots, he's like going toe to toe with Superman here. And he is just totally ripped. I mean, he has a bodybuilding physique. So there's no doubt about it. And like I said, he could compete in open, but a lot of these shots I'm seeing, he could be also like a classic physique style bodybuilder. But either way, open or classic, this guy is definitely in the top 5. All right, so before I get to number 1, I want to bring up some honorable mentions. And the first one is Aquaman. This guy has a different style of physique to Icon. This guy is more of a very lean style. And in most of these shots, he looks like this. Like you can still see the muscular separation, and he has a very muscular physique, but he's not quite as big. He looks to me like maybe like a fitness model rather than a bodybuilder, which means he's super lean, has a lot of good muscle. He's just not like super jacked, right? But I love this physique. I feel like a lot of guys would love to have this style of physique where you have the muscle, but you're really lean and you still have kind of like a athletic style build to you. So that was Aquaman. I have 2 more honorable mentions, and the next one is Black Adam. Now, there's a reason The Rock played this guy, because this guy right here, he's probably could be an open bodybuilder as well in a lot of these shots. But I mean, his muscles they're a little bit different than the ones we've seen so far. His are more rounded, so they're not like sharp muscles. They're more of like the rounded muscle bellies. And you'll sometimes see that in bodybuilding as well. Like the chest is more rounded instead of like a plate. Now he still has that plate-like armor look to him, but the delts are super round, the biceps are super round, the quads are super round. So I love that style of physique as well. But the reason he's an honorable mention is because in most shots, he's not quite that big. In most shots, he's just got a good physique. Like a superhero good physique. But in most shots, he doesn't look like crazy like this. So for that, I'm just taking the average of what I'm seeing, and therefore I'm just gonna say he's an honorable mention in this video, but he probably could be top 5 as well, depending on the shot. All right, so up next, the last honorable mention we're gonna look at is Green Lantern. This guy has kind of a similar physique to Aquaman. He has that very lean style physique where you can just see all the abs. He has a very athletic quality to him, like a fitness model style of physique, or, you know, maybe a sprinter as well. And while he has that athletic style to his physique, I still think he could compete in bodybuilding at a very high level. I think he would probably be in the men's physique division because he's not super muscular, and I think he would do really well. He has a great physique. All right, so if you're enjoying this video and you're a nerd, you like bodybuilding, you like fitness, you like anime, any of that sort of stuff, feel free to like this video and subscribe for more content just like this. Okay, so without further ado, let's move into my number 1 pick for the best built physique in all of DC Comics in terms of that classic style of physique. And my number 1 pick is the one and only Batman. This guy has a crazy physique. It really doesn't matter which art style you're looking at. I mean, he's got muscles for days. I mean, the quads just pop, the arms pop. I mean, he's got gloves over his suit and you can still see his forearms popping out of them. I mean, this guy's physique is crazy. And we have some shots with him without his shirt on. And I mean, look at that. That guy, I mean, his abs are just popping. His delts are popping. He's got veins everywhere. Oh, man. Like, I'm just like freaking gushing over his physique right now because he is my number one. I really think that in a lot of these shots, he has a style of physique that could compete at an Olympia level and maybe even win depending on the shot, depending on the artist. You know, this guy just has a phenomenal physique. And on top of that, he has an athletic build to his physique as well. He's not just like all bodybuilding-esque, but he has this limberness, this movability to his physique, this mobility, and I really love it. And that's why I really like his physique. That's why he's my number one. So what did you guys think about these ratings? Would you change them around? Where did you disagree with me at? Let me know in the comments down below, and make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.